Hi, my name is John Webster, and this is my case study on Truman Elementary. First of all, what do we know? We know that Truman is a large suburban school. It's a pre-K to 8 grade building with about 700 students. 15% are on free and reduced lunch, and about 5% English is not their primary language. There has been a trend of scores on reading tests dropping and continuing to drop as students progress through Truman Elementary. This has caught the attention of the local PTO, and they want an explanation for why scores are dropping and what's being done to address them. The principal brought in the district reading supervisor, and many inadequacies were identified, and the state is providing grant money to help shrink the achievement gap between students in reading and math and other things, as long as the strategies implemented are research-based. So the Truman Elementary could catch this at a right time to try to improve their curriculum. Findings of the reading supervisor: approximately about 1 hour was spent on language arts. This was not enough, and it was usually broken up throughout the day because of PE, music classes, and things like that. Most of the instruction done was whole group instruction with very limited individualized instruction for students. There wasn't a big focus on spelling or phonics. It was ignored. Mistakes were not corrected. Reading comprehension strategies were used by a few teachers, but not nearly enough, and there was no emphasis on improving reading comprehension. Basically, Truman does not utilize the best teaching practices with the findings of the reading supervisor. The recommendations the supervisor gave were revise the curriculum standards to include focus on phonics and reading comprehension, integrate reading and writing, increase the amount of time spent on language arts instruction. Students also need to spend more time on phonics and read books that are within their grade level, but also ones that are above to challenge them to push their skills. Also, an increase in the amount of individualized instruction time is needed to help catch students up with their specific deficiencies. And a lot of professional development was going to be needed to help improve the staff as a whole. It seems this problem is not centered on a few teachers, but more of the entire building. And there needs to be a new atmosphere created, a new culture of focusing on reading improvement. What do we need to know? Some things that I felt we need to know are: how do we compare with other schools in our districts, or on our district, excuse me? Are we using the same curriculum? Is pacing the same? Are our state scores similar? Pacing to me is a big one. The curriculum is a big one. In a lot of larger schools, it's very controlled when items will be, when specific content will be discussed, and you have to stay on that calendar. This could be a big reason why our scores aren't improving. We're focusing on staying up to date rather than focus on student learning. We also need to find out what our staff's knowledge is on reading instruction and their opinions of the student's performance. Do they feel that our students are performing adequately? Do they have a solid base of knowledge in how to teach kids how to read? And maybe this can help us improve on student scores. What steps were taken before? Has the district tried any professional development or curriculum changes to help increase student test scores? And then what are the other schools in our district doing to try to help their students out? Maybe we could steal some from those schools rather than try to reinvent the wheel. As far as the problems of this case, the student reading scores decreasing is the major problem. How do we address that is going to be the key to solving this issue. Other problems we face: upset parents. The parents in the district are not happy that reading scores are going down, and it appears that there's a lack of concern from the school district. This needs to be met head on. Administration and teachers, staff need to do some public relations here of going out and changing the result or the perceptions of the parents when it comes to our focus on reading. And then we need to pick up on these reading education areas that are where we're struggling. We need to increase the time spent on language arts, more individualized instruction, and use more current techniques that are proven with research to improve instruction. If we can improve reading skills, all our other scores, content areas will increase because reading is so important to education. My proposed plan of action, first of all, I want to meet with the PTO to address their concerns. I want to let them know that we are very interested in improving our reading scores and that we take their concerns very serious, that we will continue to monitor our advancement and our student advancement, and hopefully be able to create really strong readers as they go out into high school. Next, I want to meet with other building leaders across the district to discuss what they do in their buildings. Again, trying to steal some ideas to improve our education in Truman. Then I want to hold a staff meeting to discuss the parents' feelings and the findings of the reading supervisor. I think it's important that the teachers understand our deficiencies and that we need to create a culture of ownership from everyone to improve reading, because this is not just a specific grade level issue. This is something that persists as students do go through Truman Elementary, and it will take everyone to improve this. I would create a committee to explore new curriculums and teaching strategies that we can teach all of our teachers to try to improve our reading. This committee would be made up of teachers, the PTO, members of the PTO, our reading supervisor, and myself as the building administrator. Again, this is all about improvement, not placing blame, but rather create an atmosphere of ownership amongst the teachers and staff that we to help improve our students' reading abilities. And then again, provide in-depth professional development on the best reading practices. I will also schedule continued visits with our district reading supervisor, and then allow the supervisor to meet with our teachers to discuss the findings. I think it is important that the teachers have time to sit down with the reading supervisor to talk about their strengths and weaknesses and how we can improve. We will also spend time reviewing data from the state scores, trying to find, do we have specific subgroups that are really weak in certain reading areas? Do we have subgroups that are really strong in reading areas, and what can we learn from that? I will require that more time being spent on phonics, spelling, and reading comprehension. Again, these are very important to overall instruction, and if our students do not read well, we're going to have a hard time teaching them other things. I would like to try to increase the number of paraeducators to help those students that do have difficulties reading, just to get them reading more, help them with the phonics skills, spelling skills, and things like that. And then lastly, I want to inform the students of our goal to increase our reading ability. I think this is something we often overlook, is the power students have if they have ownership within the school on curriculum and their own abilities. So I want to get the students involved. Resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. I'm a big advocate for atmosphere, for creating an environment of accountability and ownership by everyone. We need to get the teachers, parents, administrators, and students involved in this, because that's the only way we're going to improve reading scores. The parents have to help us at home, the students have to take it serious, and the teachers have to be accountable on making sure that we're providing the best instruction possible. And the administration needs to set the example on this and really make it easier and help facilitate teacher improvement so we can have student improvement. The providing professional development should help with instruction, which should lead to improved school scores in reading. We need to make sure we have adequate time spent on reading education, especially in the early grades, where that is the most important to student success. And then we need to get back and focusing on individualized instruction, and we need to get creative with this, finding ways to break classrooms up so that the strong readers have a chance to go be challenged, and those readers that struggle a little bit have an opportunity for improvement. So there's a lot that goes into this, but we have to have this this atmosphere of accountability is key throughout the building. It can't just be one grade level or two grade levels. It's going to have to be every grade level we have. Defining the problem. The parents need to be informed of our common concerns and our steps for improvement. Ultimately, we want the same for students. We want to have the best students possible when they walk out of our doors, parents want what's best for their students. We need to work together to do this. We do need to acknowledge our inadequacies as a staff and improve upon them. And we need to use data to make sure that we are teaching the right way and the right items, and that students are getting them and it's showing to be successful. It's not just good enough to say, well, we're using this curriculum and these strategies, but if the results don't show up, if we don't have improved results, we need to change what we're doing. Again, individualized instruction is very key so that we're focusing on each student at what's best for him or her. Again, everyone will be needed to correct this trend. We need to continue to monitor our scores and watch for improvement. And with this, if we can increase reading again, all test scores should go up. We should have better students in all of our classes. This is a big key, is making sure that we're focusing on the little things to improve the big things as students progress through school. I'd like to thank you for taking time to watch my video.